What's up, guys? It looks like we're live. I'm here in Enschede in the official Phenomenal studio. Let's see, let's turn this up a little bit. This is like I literally mounted my phone to a camera stand with some duct tape. So that should be great. Hi guys, I see everyone's joining. So we're here in the official Phenomenal studios, who happens to be my roommate. And that's how I kind of ended up remixing with you. Yeah, I can show you around a little bit. There we go. So this is the big screen. Got my computer right here. And KRK monitors, nice interface. That's pretty much it. But yeah, like I normally just produce on my computer with my headphones, my hard disk, and my yeah, that's it actually. I don't use anything else. So I'm just here in the studio because it looks cool, obviously, and so I can show you guys some shit on the monitors. Would be really shitty if I just was wearing headphones. You couldn't hear anything. So yeah. Let's see. So you know, whenever you've got a question throughout the live stream, I can see everything happening here on the screen. It's my phone. I'm even gonna check on my computer as well. And speaking of, I should probably share on my own page as well. Let's see if it looks good here. And I can show you my computer screen like this. There we go. All right. So. There it is. I'll just share it to my own page, and then we can get going. We're gonna kind of look at the track, how I made it, what it went into it, the creative process, how I ended up actually remixing it, and then some of the more like in-depth production aspects as well. Just some fun shit. And yeah. Okay, 1 second, I'm just going to share it to my own page. And by the way, if you aren't following it yet, you should. So there we go, let's put a new page, or a new post on the page. Live now on Revealed Recordings. Come say hi. And some kind of emoji, the peace sign, how about that? There we go. Okay, that looks good. So thank you all for joining in so far. It looks like we're getting quite a audience quite quickly already. Yeah, let's just talk about the release real quick. I'm so glad for all the support so far. Really happy to see everything that's been going on, and just thank you guys for it because the support has just been amazing. It was super crazy to actually see it being used in an official Ultra Music Festival video. It was, I think, the Friday after movie type thingy. They did like this compilation of, you know, footage from the festival, and then they just included the Snareskin remix, and that was actually, I think, 2 months or so before the actual release happened. So I was looking at the video, and you know, it was set up, and thanks for everyone who was involved in setting that up, by the way. So I was looking at the video, I was like, shit, I just want to share this so badly, but like the release, it wasn't out yet, so it was kind of a secret, so to say. And yeah, and like I said, thanks to Phenomenal, Geert, who's I think in the room right next to here, and Magnificence as well, Robin and Maurice for, you know, giving me this opportunity to remix an amazing track, and Emily Series as well for the amazing vocals. So yeah, like I said, Phenomenal, he's my roommate, which is kind of the way I ended up remixing it. That's why I'm in his studio right now. And yeah, we go to the same conservatory, We live here in Enschede. Originally I'm from Gorinchem, which is pretty close to Utrecht. I don't know if you're familiar, but it's like in the center of Holland. And I'm 22 years old right now. Been producing for approximately, I think, 7 or 8 years or so. And I originally started out in FL Studio, but I don't know if you can see it right here, but that's Ableton right there, baby. And yeah, as a kid I had piano lessons, I think from my 8th until like I was 12 years old or so. And it's been helping tremendously, especially with, you know, melodic related stuff. Even though I hated my parents for forcing me to go, you know, to the lessons at that moment. But right now I'm super grateful for, you know, for that happening. And yeah, that's about it. Right now I'm just working, you know, I just put the remix out and working on some other releases. Got a ton of shit coming up and some live shows as well. Been working on putting together a show that actually involves like a live keyboard and live drum pad, so I can just go fucking crazy there on the stage. Yeah, so that's fun. Like, doing the remix was a ton of fun. Really enjoyed it. It was one of those projects where it just came together super quickly, right? So I was working on it, I think, one afternoon, and the main idea kind of came together. And you know, that's one of those projects where it's just so natural that you're like, oh shit, this is amazing. I know exactly what to do with it. Like the first time I heard it. I was familiar with the tune already because like I said, Geert is my roommate, so whenever he was in there producing, and I was in the living room, I think I didn't go a single day without hearing the, you know, the signature. That type of stuff. But yeah, I loved working on the remix. I think it was, like I said, one day or so of putting the main idea down, and then maybe 1 or 2 weeks of just kind of fine-tuning the entire thing. And that's a good sign. Like if it comes naturally, if it takes like 1 or 2 days to put the main idea down, that's a fun project to work on. It's a really fun project. So yeah, oh, and by the way, if you have any questions, whatever, production related, studio related, or whatever, just ask. Feel free to ask. I think we're already at 10 minutes in. I'm gonna jump to Ableton now. I'll kind of put the camera like this so you can see. So yeah, let's just quickly run through the project, see what's going on. Some fun tricks I used. I'm gonna give you all my production secrets. That's so much for the intro music. Anyway, so yeah, let's just take a quick listen through it at first. So I really had to bounce a lot of stems already just to get this running on my computer. Tried opening a project yesterday, you know, to kind of prepare for the stream, and I got a shit ton of buffer overflows. And for those of you who don't know what that is, buffer overflow basically means it's your computer going, shit, no, please don't do this to me. Like, there's just too much stuff going on in the project. So I had to just, you know, bounce, and that means you kind of record what's going on there and you put it in place, you freeze it, so to speak. So I bounced a lot of stuff, and right now it's running pretty smoothly, like you can hear. So yeah, let's just start with the stems. I actually tried to keep, you know, the usage of the stems to a minimum, other than the vocals, of course, because that's always a good way to make sure that you give your own creative, I guess, spin to it, so to speak. Obviously I use the vocals, I use some of the flute as well, because that's just such an important element to the track, and I wanted to retain that, so it sounds like this. And then there's the some effects going on, stuff like this. You know, some risers. Let's see, effects. Totally gonna steal that one. And then, of course, you know, the vocals, and I just used the processed one. It's really good. And then obviously we've got the, you know, the vocal chops, which basically carries the drop, so to say. Like this. And it goes down an octave. And this is pretty simple stuff. It's basically it's an overdrive, just the Ableton built-in one, and then an LFO, which, you know, kind of makes it more choppy. And then together with the drop. But it gives it this really nice, kind of groovy, rhythmic feeling. And vocal chops are generally great for that type of purpose. Yeah, so the vocals, the flutes, some effects, that's what I used from the original. Let's have a look at the percussion, because in this production the percussion is really super important element of the track. It carries all the energy, like the impacts. If you hear a big chord impacting, like in the chorus, for example, the big power chords, that's all percussion based. So that's, for example, there's this impact here. This is all the percussion, so it fills out like the whole spectrum. Without percussion it sounds like this. So it's super empty, right? And I found it really helps to layer even just normal instruments with percussive elements to give it a really you know, a big impact and make it boom more, so to say. So yeah, and then we've got the build up, and I used a lot of acoustic snares there. I really like doing acoustic snares and toms as well for build up and fill elements. It gives it a bit of a organic vibe, I guess. And let's see, you know, for the toms, same story. It's just a contact library. I had to freeze it because it was taking up some CPU, and then with some transient shaping to give it more impact. But yeah, like acoustic snares that are really good for giving your track more of a human feeling, especially if it's a library that does also, you know, some randomization. And then there's a lot of Foley going on, and I really love Foley. For those of you who don't know what that means, that's some random sound from an object. You record it and you use it in a production. For example, it could be a sound like this. You know, anything. A Foley I used a lot in this one is a typewriter, actually. I will show that. It's right here. Let's see. So yeah. Where is it? There's so many tracks going on, so sometimes it's kind of tricky to keep track of. So yeah, this is the one. That's kind of my problem with production. I have this track right here. It's called Typewriter. it contains anything but typewriter samples, and then here is just some unnamed track. This actually holds the typewriter sample. And I recorded this myself. It's a typewriter going, you know, when you go to the next line, it does this weird ding type of sound, and it sounds like this. And in the mix, and I really love using those type of, you know, normal objects, so to say, sound to give it a bit more of a unique feeling as well, because it's always fun to record your own Foley and then basically you have your own sample pack, you know. And then, yeah, that's the chords. That's a pretty interesting one too. And I had to bounce those chords because it was just eating up my computer. If I ran it with the chords enabled, the track would just last like twice as long because the buffer overflows were so bad. And it sounds like this. And what this is made is using a vocoder actually, and yeah, I don't want to go too in depth on the production side, but it's a chord playing normally and then some stab doing impacts like tuk 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 tuk, and then the computer is combining those two sounds to create kind of this moving type of chord sound. And what I really try to do is give it this like up and down type of motion, right? Kind of keep it bouncing, moving. It's almost as if the track itself jumps. And that's the same reason I'm always trying to do this type of, let's just call it skipping the bass on the first count. You leave the bass out just for one count, and then you have this like, so you go, it's kind of like a little leap or a jump from the first count until when the bass hits, and it gives it a lot of tension or, you know, momentum. I really love doing that. So yeah, that's the chords. I've got some loops going on. There's this one which I really should stop using because I love it too much, and I always tend to just drag it into my project. It sounds like this. But that's the fun thing. If you start chopping up loops and giving it different speeds and rhythmic signatures like this, it can give a really great vibe or a great groove to the track. So this is what it does. So yeah, that's the loops in there. Let's see what else we got. And by the way, guys, feel free to ask any questions you'd like. Let me just check if there's anything coming in here already. And Ableton with a dark theme. Yeah, absolutely. I really love this theme. It's called, let me check. It's called the LT one. And I think I found it somewhere on a dark corner of the internet. Just feel free to drop me a message on Snapchat or Twitter, and I will send you the theme. So yeah, it's Ableton, absolutely. Let's see what else we've got here. Sounds similar to, yeah, definitely. I think we used an XY setup, and it was actually in the studio at the conservatory for recording the Foley. But these days I always use a portable microphone. It's a Zoom, and it has a really great crisp sound for getting those Foley samples. You can just take it anywhere. So you're in the supermarket and getting random samples in, and everyone thinks you're a complete moron for doing so. But like, you get great samples, right? Better shave that beard for the main stage next year. Shout out, you're right. You're completely right. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, the background music. It's one of my favorite songs. Let's just say we will play it again in the outro, the conclusion. Shout out to Buddy. Shout out to Geert. I saw World join as well, so if you're still watching, hi. Great that you guys are all having a look. And yeah, let's just see if there's anything else in here. Maybe we can get Phenomenal to join. He's right next to us. Let me see. One sec. Geert! Phenomenal! Yeah. You better get in here. And let's just play. We can show you one of our favorite tunes.
What's up?
Yo, this is Phenomenal.
Hey guys, what's up?
We're here in the studio with Phenomenal. It's the EDM Brand Lane. They call this the EDM capital of Holland.
Yeah, actually they asked if you move the camera a bit closer to the screen. They want to see what's up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But then they will see that I use only vengeance sentences. Yeah, just okay. Let me know what you guys want to have a look at because I can zoom in a little bit more. Let's see. What does it say? What? Oh yeah. How did you make this big sub bass line? So let's see. That's pretty sure that's massive. It's usually massive, but let's have a look. So like in the chorus, it's actually Spire. I bounced them all because they were just eating up my computer. But you're probably talking about the drop though, and that's massive. And maybe I can unfreeze this. So the tuning is wrong. I'm not sure why that is, but let's just pitch it down real quick. Oh yeah, I do know. Wait, re-enable automation. Nope, doesn't work. Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. So yeah, that's a massive. Oh, let's wait. And it has this isotope trash, which is not enabled. Scratch that. Yeah, it has a redux. So, and I used a different one for the left and the right side to give it a little bit more of a stereo feeling. And then I EQ'd, the redux, and then that's the reason that it sounds like a bit of a crispy slash, yeah, what's it called? Like a 8-bit type of sound. So this is that's just a redux. I could turn it a little louder. Right, so that's kind of the raw, the gritty edge of the bass there. And then we have an isotope exciter. Let's see, some EQing going on. But it's really, I think the most important part about getting a super fat bass is just making sure that it lies in the mix really well. And the problem can be, for example, if your sidechaining is too heavy, then the sub will just get kind of washed out by the kick. And also, what I found to be sometimes a problem is if the sub is too loud or the bass is too loud, and then it runs through the mastering chain. I will show you that to you in a second as well. And it just kind of ruins the mix. Like it doesn't even sound like the bass is too loud, but you gotta always check your level to see if it's if it's right. And let's move on to the master real quick before we end the stream. I don't know if you can see this, but it's so yeah, this is pretty unorthodox. I think some people are gonna hate me for it, but what I sometimes do is I automate some parameters on the master. For example, high pass during the build up to make it like very small, everything, and then once the drop hits, just make it super big. Width as well. I don't know if every DAW does that, but Ableton just gives you this kind of width slider. And then C6, some wave stuff, some compressing going on. And this is a really good one, API 2500. It's basically, it's magic. That's all I can say about this. It just makes the sound so punchy, and it gives your drums that much more transient, even if it's on the master. So API 2500, that's my super secret production secret of today, if you're into that at all. L316 for the limiting, and then yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, let's just check if there's any more questions. Yo, Janis, hope you're doing good. Glad to see every one of you is tuning in and asking questions. What kind of distortions units do you like using? I gotta give a shout out to, I think it's called Abuser. The Abuser, yeah. It's a really super heavy distortion plugin, so you kind of get a feeling for how to tame it. And you know, the Ableton built-in one as well. That's pretty good too. And if it doesn't have enough grit, so to say, you can always use an exciter to give your distorted sounds more of a, you know, air. So yeah, I think actually, I don't know if I can, how much more time we got. I love your comments, guys. How do you do those extremely lush reverb pads in your breakdowns? Oh, do you mean this? This is the Wurlitzer from Arturia, and I'm completely obsessed with it. I totally overuse this one, like way too often, and but it's so great. It has a really great analog sound. So Arturia, Wurlitzer, and then there's just some signs layered here. And the important part here is that the spread on the operator is pretty big. Yeah, I would just wanted to make it a kind of an intimate atmosphere. So the vocal in the middle, and then some, you know, instruments surrounding it, but not too big or anything. Just keeping it small and kind of, you know, this emotional vibe in the vocal. I wanted to carry that in the instrumental. So yeah, it's almost 9 o'clock already. I think officially I was allowed to run until 9. So I'm not sure, maybe I'll just get shut down in a minute. We'll see. It's been a lot of fun, guys. Hopefully I can do some more live streams in the future, maybe on my own channel. So follow Snareskin on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, if you want to actually listen to some tunes. And of course Snapchat. You can always hit me up on Snapchat if you've got any more questions about the production as well. So feel free. And if you want to see my shitty jokes, obviously Snapchat is the place for that. So yeah, hit me up, say hi. I had a lot of fun just going through the production, and once again, thank you guys for all the support on the remix so far. Thank you, Magnificent and Phenomenal, and Revealed Recordings as well, for, you know, making this all happen. And hopefully see you guys soon.